This is my 1994 Buick LeSabre. I bought this car brand new back in October of 1994. The car right now has just under 172,000 miles on it, and it's basically original. It's never been involved in an accident. The transmission is original. The only thing I did to that was change the filter a few times over the course of the 24 years that I've owned this car, and taken it into the oil shop and had the transmission completely flushed with a machine called a T-Tech. And the engine has been equally very reliable. The only thing that it did have that was an issue related to the lower intake manifold gaskets. And these old General Motors vehicles with the 3.8, it's known throughout the industry that lower intake manifold gasket will fail, and when it does, the oil and coolant will mix, and the coolant will get into the oil, and as a result it will seize the engine. So I took the initiative and actually replaced that on my own a few years ago, and the gaskets were in fact failing, so it was good that I did that. The only thing that really has been problematic with this car is something called the subframe bushings, which actually there are 4 of them, 2 on the driver's side just behind the front wheel, and on the passenger side 2 over there. And what these bushings and bolts do is they support the front subframe, which holds the engine in the front end of the car. It's bolted right to the unibody or the back end of the car. And the failure point of these is that the road salt, I live in the northern climates, and they salt the roads where I live. Salt gets in there, and over the course of many years it corrodes these bolts, and when the bolts fail, if 2 on one side fail, the subframe with the engine weight will drop down, and you will lose control of your car. And the reason why you're going to lose control of your car is because your steering mechanism will fail, and that will not be good. So I also took the initiative, went underneath the car, and one of mine actually was gone. So I replaced all of them, and I did another video on YouTube. You can take a look at that. The one thing I wanted to show you today actually is on the back end of the car. And it relates to this right here. This is not the original muffler. I actually replaced the original about 10 years ago, I want to say. So this right here is the second muffler, and I guess it's made in China because the quality just isn't there. You can see the neck of the muffler broke off or rusted off, and this was left on the pipe that I'm going to show you underneath the car, and I just took a screwdriver and hammer and chiseled that off. That's the back end. I snapped that off the tailpipe, and this actually supports the tailpipe and the whole muffler up underneath the car, and I'll show you that in a minute. Before I do that though, I wanted to show you the replacement parts. So this is the replacement muffler. I bought it online, AutoZone. It was $55.63 online, next day delivery, and it was here the very next day. And the part number, by the way, for that, it's made by Walker Standard Exhaust System Company, 18458. Tailpipe, made the mistake of buying it via Amazon Prime. So much for the 2-day delivery. This took 4 days to get here. So, nevertheless, it is here. And the part number for that, you can see the old one, 42234, which is what's on the new one, 42234, also made by Walker. And it's simply goes right into the muffler. And then on this side you got a 2-inch clamp, goes right on there. This side, 2 1/4-inch clamp, same thing, goes right there. And the only tool you're going to need is right there. I'm using a 3/8-inch drive ratchet with a 9/16 socket, long neck socket. And this is so easy. All you have to do is chronate the car with the muffler put together, meaning that tailpipe that I showed you, and that support bracket that's on the muffler goes right through here, and that holds up the tailpipe and this end of the muffler. This thing right here goes right through here, through the back end. And then once you get that in place, you slide the other end of the muffler, and it fits over this pipe. Goes on for about 2 inches right to there. And by the way, this pipe is all original. I just pried off that remnant that I showed you and took a wire wheel, cleaned it, and it's in outstanding shape, not rusted, so I'm going to reuse it. But the muffler goes right on there. You put the clamp, that 2 1/4-inch clamp on here, tighten the bolts down, and then after making the adjustments with the tailpipe, you tighten that there it is, that 2-inch U-clamp. You tighten that one down and you're done. This thing shouldn't take me more than 15 minutes. So, hope this helps, and should save you anywhere from 50 to 75 bucks in labor charges and time in taking it in at the local auto shop or auto muffler shop.